to the management, and I thank you, and I promise that we'll do what needs to be done. At this point, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the Chairman, Board of Commissioners, to carry on.
Your Excellency, sir, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, other Cabinet Secretaries present, PSS present, CDF, VCDF, service commanders, governors present, members of Defense and Foreign Relations who are present here today, KEMI commissioners, staff of the Commission, the KDF personnel, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I think first I want to say that we are very thankful as a Commission and the staff for finding time to come and grace this occasion. It's a milestone to the Commission. From the history that we have been reading, I think this one is superseding the other. And secondly, so I want to say thank you very much, because I think when we started the initiation of what to do with the Commission, you were with us from the beginning. You actually initiated the process for us, and you called me and told me, go and look at it and maybe give recommendations. And so I want to thank you very much for your vision. This is a strategic, important facility. We, the Europeans, actually saw it 8 years ago. And the main purpose really was maybe to help the ASAL areas, because that is their mainstay, to collect the animals, bring them here, convert into edible material, and then sell them. And in that way, the farmers will benefit. And I think that is actually what we are actually the vision for now is. You also provided the strategic guidance from the beginning when we started conceptualizing what really we require to do. And you kept us on our toes from day to day, wanting to know at what every stage we have reached. And that strategic guidance actually made us to achieve what we had intended to do within the time frame that we had set ourselves. You had given us 90 days, and I think before we reached the 90 days, I think we saw some animals rolling up the slaughterhouse. And thirdly, and not that is the most important, is that the provision of the resources, Your Excellency, was the most important, because to be able to carry out what we have been able to carry out, it requires resources. Therefore, we want to really say thank you very much, Your Excellency, for giving us the resources that have enabled us to do what we have done. We want to say thank you, sir, as a Commission. Third is that I want to say thank you to the Ministry of Defense. Without them, we could not have actually achieved this. The Cabinet Secretary of Defense, the CDF, service commanders, and all the personnel that are tied to us. I want to say that the work they did within those 3 months that you had given us to complete the work, they did it with dedication, all hearts out, 24 hours a day, even as per last night. I think that some of them did not sleep to ensure that this factory and the one in Landis actually function. So I want to say they worked tirelessly, and I want to say thank you very much to the Ministry of Defense. And I was reading the social media today, there were so many things, but that is for another time, sir. I think what is left for us, on our part as a commission, we know the history. So you know what has been detailing this commission for a long time. Ours is to ensure that really what the main purpose of this institution is really meant to do that. You have given us strategic guidance that the main beneficiary should be the far-flung farmers from all the 47 counties. We should be able at any cost maybe try to minimize the middlemen and to be able to reach everybody. That, Your Excellency, I think we are trying to do that. We have reached out, but we have not yet through with all of them. But we promise that the shortest time possible, we are going to be there. The other thing that you gave us is that you ensure that once we receive the animals, the farmers are paid promptly. So when I came to the commission, our first task, sir, which you really assisted, was to pay for farmers who had delivered the animals here 4 years ago, and they had not been paid. So for the strategic intent for now is that all the farmers who will be bringing the animals to the commission, we are sure that within 72 hours, if not less, you will have received your payments. Fourth is that all the monies that the government has given us, or the money that we are going to be receiving as sales, we as a commission, we shall ensure that we spend it prudently, be accountable, and be very transparent. Because I think what has been delivering us before is that we have been getting the money from the system, but you don't see what has done at the end of the day. So our strategic intent is that within the next 1 year, 2 years maximum, the commission may not rely anymore from the exchequer. It will be on its own. And that's not all, sir. As a commission, when we are finished with this, we are looking far. We want to now go to the next strategic guidance, which is let's look local, but let's also look far. So I think from next week or so, my commission will start looking at how we can now start developing programs to be able to compete internationally. We used to be there before, but because of our own issues, we lost the market. So it will be like initiating it afresh. So that is what we are intending to do. And I'm sure with your guidance and support, I'm sure we are going to succeed. So I don't want to say anything. I want to say thank you. God bless you, sir. Because what you have done to us, I cannot say thank you enough. It is now my humble duty and pleasure to invite the Chief of Defense Forces to make his remarks and thereafter invite the Cabinet Secretary of Defense. Thank you, Excellency.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Cabinet Secretary for Defense, Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, and Cabinet Secretary for Lands, the Honorable Governors from the counties of Machakos and Narok, Principal Secretary is present, the Vice Chief of the Defense Forces, Service Commanders, General Officers present, officers and members of the Commission of KMC, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, when 5 months ago you tasked the KDF to lead in the revitalization of this factory, we as KDF got to task, and I can assure you now, Your Excellency, that we have achieved the objective, and we have achieved and accomplished the mission as provided by Your Excellency. I commend the team led by Brigadier Githaiga and Colonel Biwott who have been at the forefront of revitalizing this factory. They have undertaken multiple tasks ranging from renovation of the various buildings here to the restoration of the factory machines, whose operational state had been seriously affected. The improved working environment now has not only resulted in the higher production of the factory, but also greater confidence amongst the farmers, the livestock farmers who now receive payments very promptly. The automation of the various functions here have increased visibility across the entire factory and therefore raised efficiency in their work. To ensure that we have sustainable factory operations, the KDF has seconded specialized teams here who are working together with those that were working in this factory, and working closely, they'll be able to mentor them and also to induct the culture of discipline that has been lacking in this particular factory. Moving forward, Your Excellency, the team that has worked here will be deployed to undertake similar works, particularly the Shimanzi depot in Mombasa, to provide an outlet for the KMC products to the coastal region and also to the support of the security sector that is in the coastal region. In closing, Your Excellency, I would like to thank you for having confidence in us to be able to deliver this challenging undertaking. And we assure you, Your Excellency, that we will continue to undertake such tasks, because it's only through these tasks that we'll become better as an institution. With those remarks, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, Ambassador Monica Juma, to make her remarks, and thereafter invite Your Excellency to address this gathering. Madam.
Thank you, CDF. Your Excellency, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, fellow Cabinet colleagues for Lands and Agriculture, Honorable Governors present, CASs and PSs present here, Chief of the Defense Forces, Vice Chief of the Defense Forces, Honorable Members of the Defense and Foreign Relations Committee of Parliament, Service Commanders, General Officers, Chair of the Board, members of the Board and staff of the KMC, senior uniformed and non-uniformed and civilian officers, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Your Excellency, it is a great honor to have you in our midst today at this auspicious occasion that marks the official reopening and full operation of the Kenya Meat Commission factory today. On behalf of the MOD family, I thank you most sincerely for finding time to grace this function. Your Excellency, when the KMC was transferred to us from the Ministry of Agriculture, and following your strategic guidance for us to turn it around, we went to work. A transition team was stood that undertook a comprehensive civil works, repairs, and maintenance of the factory in readiness for full operation that you have launched today. We also embarked immediately on development of a business plan that will drive this facility back into a profitable and sustainable enterprise in line with your guidance for a turnaround strategy of the Commission. So far, Your Excellency, we have taken stock of all the inventory of the Commission's physical assets and equipment across the country for the purpose of accountability and, most importantly, to safeguard these assets. Among the most critical challenges is the encroachment on the KMC lands, Your Excellency. But I can also confirm, sir, The Commission's business reorganization plan has kicked off in earnest, starting with offsetting all the pending payments owed to the Commission to farmers. A robust plan for a competitive acquisition of livestock and a timely payment schedule to suppliers after delivery has also been implemented with positive feedback. The Commission's plan to satisfy the MOD's demand has been achieved, and a plan to meet the demands of all other security agencies is underway. But the strategic intent, Your Excellency, is to fully roll out the Commission's production to meet local demands within the next 2 years, as well as operationalizing all our Athi River factory, the Kibarani factory in Mombasa, and through the establishment of sustainable catchment in existing KMC ranches across the country to increase livestock yield with ultimate aim to venture into the international market. As the chairman has said, Your Excellency, we are focused towards realization of this broad strategy. Your Excellency, we are glad also to report that beginning this month, the KMC has begun a journey of being a market of choice for livestock producers, traders, and vendors throughout the country. The Commission is also cognizant of the fact that improved productivity will spur the livestock industry in the country through accelerating of economic activities, contributing to employment of thousands of Kenyans, and ultimately the prosperity across all our counties. In this regard, Your Excellency, we have a plan of buying livestock from across the entire country. Allow me, Your Excellency, to thank you and to thank also the leadership of the KMC and the board, to thank the staff and the seconded officers and service members of the KDF, led by General Kasaon, retired Kasaon, and the Managing Commissioner, Brigadier Githaga, for a job very well done, Your Excellency. As I conclude, sir, I wish to reassure you that the MOD remains available to diligently carry out our constitutional mandate in defending the territorial integrity of our republic, to support civil authority in undertaking both lateral and vertical infrastructural support, as well as leadership to support in provision of extended service delivery to our people. With those remarks, Your Excellency, it is now my humble duty, sir, and honorable privilege to invite you to address these officers, distinguished invited guests, and service members of the Kenya Defense Forces. Your Excellency, sir. Oh, let me invite the Governor of Machakos, at the behest of His Excellency, to say a few words. Governor.
Your Excellency, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, my colleague Governor, His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, generals who are here, cabinet secretaries, our sister, CS for Defense, all protocols observed. Mintongea chap, just a few lines. 8 points. Number one, thank you very much, Your Excellency, and I welcome you to Machakos County. And we are very pleased as Machakos County for the revival of this Kenya Meat Commission. This is an example of work that needs to be done and a project that makes us very happy. It is a pity, Your Excellency, that you have to start reviving things that should be operating. In Kenya, we've become a country where we build things and we may squander them, then they have to be revived again. But we're very glad that you've been able to take this move to revive them. And we're very pleased also that we're able to provide employment. All the employees who are in this KMC before are still working here. They are not fired. That means bread and water and ugali in their homes every day. Number two, Your Excellency, is also that I'm very happy, and I urge farmers in our region, especially here, Machakos, Kajiado, Narok, the region around here, Kitui, Makueni, to bring their livestock. Here in Machakos, I'm so excited that I'm going to hold a meeting and help mop up cattle and goats from my farmers and even pay for their transportation so they can come to KMC. Kwa hivyo mjipange. zitakuja kwa upesi sana, so that our farmers can also have money in their pockets. Your Excellency, before I conclude, I'd like to say that good politics is all about development. We have benefited very much in Machakos because we've worked very closely with you from the very beginning, the road infrastructure and all these things, and we're very grateful for that because we know that 190 elect leaders, not for high positions, not to be kings, but they elect leaders to undertake projects like this. And Your Excellency, I'm very grateful because when you came for Mashujaa Day, we talked about the problems that were happening in Mavoko, especially the water problem. And we talked about the sewer and water, and you told us we'll work with it. And a few times we talked and you organized, we got some Belgium funding, and now the project is nearly ready, and we'll be inviting you to launch it, which will solve the water problem of this area. Your Excellency, I used to be a government spokesman. And as a former government spokesman, I'd like to tell you that people who are saying that you're a lame duck president have lost it. You are fully in control, and we're very happy about that. And we love the fact that you're doing projects. You're not talking, you're working. Because your legacy will not be how much you talk, but what you've done for this country. And Your Excellency, you've done a lot. Na watu wachane na siasa, waone kazi ambayo umeifanya. And we are very excited about the future, Your Excellency, because now, after you've done your legacy, we want this country to be able to move forth and be able to carry the projects that you have done. Na si wakati wa siasa, lakini unajua niko hapa na lazima kazi iendelee. And that is why some of us are running for president, because we are tried and tested to carry the legacy and others in a peaceful Kenya. Ndio tuweze kujenga nchi yetu. There are so many young people unemployed. There are so many people suffering without money in their pockets. COVID as it is hard. We don't want this work to stop with Uhuru Kenyatta. Once somebody will carry out this legacy and do it in a peaceful manner that unites our country. Thank you, Your Excellency, and I welcome you on behalf of my people of Machakos and all of us. Karibu sana, Your Excellency. Thank you.